Hey everybody, welcome to something different here on the Seren Santiago channel. Age of Wonders 4 just got announced yesterday and I am super excited. I watched the live stream and I'm really into what their concept is. I love fantasy strategy. Just look at my Steam playtime on fantasy strategy games. So this right up my alley. Age of Wonders Planetfall was my first foray into the Age of Wonders series. I have since played Age of Wonders 3. And I have to say I love them both. I prefer Planetfall because I'm a huge space nerd. But this is big for me. The game comes out on May 2nd, 2023. I will be playing it. Already booked it into my schedule here around May of this year. But I figured Dev Diaries just started today. So we're going to be kind of talking about it together and just kind of reading through it and seeing what the game has to offer as we go through the Dev Diaries each and every week. Maybe not every week on the channel, but I'll try and do it as much as possible. So let's talk about what's in this one. The Return of the so this says first a bit of history. The premise and focus of Age of Wonders 4 has been 2 decades in the making. At the conclusion of 2003's Age of Wonders Shadow Magic, the warring Wizard Kings were banished from Athla along with the Shadow Demons. We knew that if the stars of game business align, we bring them back bigger and scarier than before. So they've done that. After joining Paradox, who released Age of Wonders Planetfall, though development actually started prior to the acquisition. If you didn't know, Triumph Studios, the developers of this, have been bought by Paradox, so they are a Paradox studio now. So I figured I should bring that up now. This sci-fi sister game allowed us to experiment with new angles, allowed us to bring the game to a new audience on consoles, and taught us a lot about intellectual property, building, rage combat, meta empire systems, and unit mods. Big things in that game. Now, after 3 years of development, we are now ready to announce the newest sequel to the fantasy saga, Age of Wonders 4. So what is Age of Wonders 4? It starts with the banished Wizard Kings breaking free from their otherworldly prisons. Corrupted by centuries of torment and eldritch domains, they have returned to the world of Athla and now seek other realms that lie within their grasp. Not merely satisfied to reclaim their thrones, they seek to establish themselves as gods of immortal. So, look at this. This looks incredible. So these are just work in progress photos. But some of these photos are just kind of the classes that you'll get to see. So there's that one too. Vision. The central theme that emanates through Age of Wonders 4 is creation, which ties closer to the returning Wizard Kings with their godlike powers. If Age of Wonders 3 was autumnal, then 4 represents a fresh spring, heralding an age of new beginnings where the magical forces of creation flow freely. The series has always featured a strong in-world player avatar whose empire embodies their traits. With Age of Wonders 4, we take this further with unprecedented faction creation and evolution system. When I watched the stream yesterday, I was reminded of something like Pathfinder, Wrath of the Righteous, or Exhibitions Rome. Those are games that I'm familiar with. There's probably a lot more, but those are what I'm familiar with. I was very reminded of those in the character creation and faction creation of this game. And that's really cool to me. So we have enhanced avatar character creation. We have so you can create your starting race basically from scratch. You have the choice of physical form, you have the choice of culture, traits, magical tomes. And that makes your race unique. So everyone can have their own unique thing with this game, and that is excellent. That adds a layer of depth to Age of Wonders that I've never experienced. But I've experienced a lot that I enjoy a lot. You see why it makes sense. I've experienced a lot that I absolutely enjoy through Planetfall, and to see this evolve in the fantasy side of things really makes me happy. You can go for an existing trope, or you can create a completely unique vision of your own. You can have mystic toads, cannibal halflings, isolated deep dwarves, whatever you want really. The modular nature of this fantasy race construction set will also make it easier for modders to add content. So they're really pushing modding. I know Paradox and their parents or their kind of sister studios have been very big on modding before, but I've seen a push for that more with Victoria 3, which has some excellent mods. Age of Wonders 4 is doing that now, and that makes me really happy to see. Our goal is to instill a great sense of progress and agency during the many hours that an Age of Wonders game can take. No longer stuck in a predefined research building path determined at the start of the game, you can now evolve your faction in the direction that suits you during play. You rule an empire of your own design, crafting a personal journey. That really makes me happy. I am a huge fan of longevity, so when I get to the end of a campaign, I'm sad because I'd love to see what would have happened if I could go a bit further. So things that make things longer, I really love that. So they've added gameplay depth. You can develop your own strategy, your own story, and that adds replayability, which is excellent. They've added the Tomes of Magic, which is done by researching arcane knowledge contained within ancient tomes. We have broken up the game's tech tree, quote unquote, into 54 tomes of magic, spread over the Order, Chaos, Astral Materium, Nature, and Shadow cosmic powers affinities. Each tome is centered around a strong theme: pyromancy, necromancy, faith, teleportation, etc. And that includes a number of spells and upgrades for your empire you can use then to research. You can start with Goblin Barbarians and follow the path of Shadow, or you can use Nature Tomes to create an empire that lives in harmony with the creatures of the forest. You can have the Empire Tree, which is a separation of the tech tree, to unlock skills that improve your empire. Each affinity has its own branch that follows a particular playstyle. There it is right there. It looks like, right there. I was trying to open it up. Looks interesting. I really like the layers of depth they went through with this game. Like I said, I love depth, and that always makes me happy to see. As you play, your empire will change to reflect your choices. You have a unique path that can be affected by the spells you use, cities you build, units you field, etc. This all instills a strong sense of progress and role-playing while respecting their high fantasy medieval hybrid setting. So there's a completely new narrative engine, which responds to the encounters, diplomacy, another aspect of the game with narrative flair. How you respond tests your judgment as a leader. There's new changes to diplomacy and relation. There's changes to cities and economy. Cities can now develop in multiple new ways. They've introduced a province system where population growth directly results in new territory that can be added to your city's domain, allowing you to shape your domains and expand toward high-value locations. Other features include separate production queues for structures and units, so you can build them at separate times. That's something I don't see a ton of in games. It's obviously it's there, but this feels like something they're going to do a bit different, and I'm very interested to see how they do it. Other features include separate... Okay, I've read that. And that does not stall city development, which makes a lot of sense. You can have special province improvements. You can have... And there's a new Empire resource management resource called Imperium. They will be doing multiple dev diaries on the economy alone, because it's apparently very complex. I'm very interested to see that, gotta say. They've completely changed the combat and siege system. Or not completely changed it, but they've improved it. There's a new morale system, which causes units to rout, adding a new dimension to combat. There are now clearly defined unit roles, to make it easier to identify the mini units in the game. And of course, there are a ton of new units and clever abilities that look and animate better than ever. They'll be doing more on the world map and combat and later dev diaries that hopefully we'll be covering in future weeks. So this is a short overview of things that they're doing with Age of Wonders 4. There are also things like multiplayer, the underground heroes and their arsenals, all making their return, as this is a fully loaded sequel. That's really good to see. From the time of this announcement to release on May 2nd, there will be a barrage of development diaries and other community activities where we'll look at gameplay, features, art, etc. Check back next week where we're going to take a look at building and evolving factions using cosmic affinities and tomes of magic. We can wishlist the game, which I have already done, and we will be playing this here on the channel for sure when it comes out on May 2nd. That's what we're getting here. I think you're really gonna like. I think I'm really gonna like this game. I think a lot of people are gonna really enjoy this game. I'll link the dev diary and I'll link the game announcement below in the description, so you can go check it out. But for now, I think that's going to do it. If you are looking forward to Age of Empires 4, Age of Empires? Age of Wonders, sorry. Age of Wonders 4, make sure to hit that like button down below. Hit the subscribe button, as I'll be trying my best to keep up with the Dev Diaries when they come out. I can't say I'll be 100%, but I'll be doing my darndest. Come back later today for some Marvel's Midnight Suns, and next week we'll be doing some very special stuff. I think you're really going to enjoy. We're going to be doing some more Captain of Industry. We're going to be doing, I'll probably be doing some more Total War Troy, maybe a Victoria 3 video, and yeah, that's going to do it for me. Thanks for watching. I think you're really going to like this. Let's do this path together. That's going to do it. I'll see you next week for more for the Age of Wonders 4 Dev Diary series.